Hi, and welcome to my channel. Hey, failure to check this one thing could cost you thousands in retirement benefits. What am I talking about? I'm talking about checking your retirement account with Social Security, particularly, and all your other retirement accounts for that matter, but particularly in this video, I want to deal with Social Security because the truth of the matter is that the Social Security system makes mistakes. In fact, the mistakes they make are pretty common. In 2022, the Social Security Administration admitted to the fact that they made improper payments of $13.6 billion. That's a B, billion dollars. Now, 11.1 billion of those improper payments were overpayments. That's bad news too, um, because if you've been paying attention to the news here lately, you know that um, they've discovered these overpayments and they're coming after repayments, and they want people to repay these amounts back, and they are getting their way. It's happening. But the other side of that is that uh, $2.5 billion were underpaid. In other words, people were not getting what they were supposed to be getting, and a big part of that is they had not checked their records, in particular, the earnings records of their Social Security account. Now, in my last video, I talked a little bit about your Social Security, my Social Security account. I encourage you to set one up. It's easy to do. It's not a problem at all. And you need, especially as you're approaching retirement, you need to be checking that everything is accurate. All your personal information, all of that, but in particular your earnings records, because the law states that your employer every year at the end of the year, they're supposed to submit your earnings to the Social Security Administration. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Obviously, if $2.5 billion was underpaid, then there's a lot of employers that messed up. And you say, well, I trust my employer. That's a big mistake. Don't trust them at all. Check, make sure. And even if you're several years away from retirement, get to check it, because they count the top 35 earning years. That's what your Social Security check's going to be based upon. Uh, the, the best 35 years of your working life. You don't think that could happen? It happened to me. I was about, I don't know, a year and a half or 2 years away from retirement. Kind of waited late to get my Social Security account set up and checking my records, and lo and behold, I checked it out, and I was missing a whole year of earnings. My employer had failed to do that, evidently, or the Social Security Administration made a mistake. Doesn't really matter. It wasn't showing up in my records, and it was one of my top five biggest earning years. Now, the trouble is, you say, well, no big deal. Yeah, it could be a huge deal. Um, if you happen to have that was part of your 35 best years and they lost that year, then they may resort to including in their average one of those part-time years when you were going to college or high school, whatever the case may be, and it might have been a $4,000 or $5,000 earning year. That's really going to drag your average down. Consequently, your Social Security checks are going to suffer because of that. So it is key. It is key that you check your earnings record. I just couldn't be more adamant about this. Social Security does make mistakes, and they're pretty honest in admitting that, hey, um, we make mistakes, and they do. And it takes, you need to do it once you discover this, it takes anywhere up to maybe 90 days for them to make that correction. So there's forms that you can fill out with the Social Security. My advice, though, when I discovered this, is that I just got on the phone, called my local Social Security office, set up an appointment, went in there with my, my W-2 from that year. Your employer should be able to work with you on this too. Any records that indicate and prove that what your earnings were for that missing year, you need to get in there and get it. So I did that, and it was probably about, 60 days, and they had it in there, and I felt a lot better. And since then, I I have been checking my Social Security records pretty regularly. So, guys, that's my advice. They do make mistakes, and you've heard about it here in the news lately. When they make a mistake on overpaying you, they're coming. They're going to knock at the door, and if they underpay you, not so much. That's up to you. Uh, that's up to you to do your due diligence. I heard a little joke just recently. You know you're getting old when you get excited about a letter from Social Security instead of the IRS. There's some truth to that, but sometimes you get letters from the Social Security that are not real comforting. So that's what I got for you today. I want to thank you for visiting Retirement in the News, and check out the link in the description box. I have a link to the story that will build and enhance what I've just shared with you. Again, thanks for watching. If you feel inclined, like my video, subscribe to my channel. That's all I got for now. Thanks a lot.